Hello, everyone. Apparently, there has been a massive explosion that has rocked Hoover Dam with black smoke and fire seen inside the turbine house. Now, this is a developing story. However, as I've been looking here online within the past couple of minutes, once this started to hit, I see that a lot of other news companies are sort of covering it at greater detail. I want us to take a look at some of those. Massive explosion rocks Hoover Dam with black smoke. That's from the Daily Mail. And let's see, here's some photos of it. And I can let you guys see those as well. But we were just talking about the specific dams. Remember, we were talking about all of the water not necessarily being there, and we were also talking about the fact that you know, this is generally how they will affect you by messing with the things that are a necessity. We were using the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's what we were doing that day. And let me see if I can get this story where it's just for us to read. Nobody has a lot of information. They just have the plumes of smoke. Now, I do see a story that is telling us that the Boulder City Police Department confirmed to the U.S. Sun that they have units en route to the scene following an explosion at the dam. A tourist visiting the site captured a video showing the fire may have occurred in a building near the dam's base. However, the police have yet to determine what part of the dam the explosion took place. The second video on Twitter shows visitors on a bridge overlooking the dam's blaze with sirens ringing in the background. There will be more to follow, as of course we do know that this is a definitely unfolding story. Now, I just find it curious, and I don't know what's going to happen. And I do trust that this is not something that's really an awful thing. I hope that it's not as bad as we think that it could be, right? But a massive explosion hitting Hoover Dam. It says it rocks Hoover Dam with black smoke. I don't know, you guys. I'm at a loss for words because we literally just talked about high, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, dealing with the physiological needs of man, and we looked at the water shortage. We also looked at the dams, and hopefully, let's just trust that this situation specifically does not end up being something big or major. Let's just, gee willikers, you know, I don't know, you guys. I'm looking at everybody's comments, and you guys are just like I am. I have no clue. This is not good. Now, here, everybody knows why. Let's just trust that this explosion did not do anything to damage the ability for this to continue with energy, to continue with water. Because we don't know, it's sort of hard to speculate. Are you guys at a loss? I'm literally, I'm literally at a loss. I I don't know. And I was sitting here, and as I'm sitting here and this hits, I'm like, are you kidding me? This can't be real. And so I click it, and it's this. Now, I can guarantee you that we have seen that there are people that have it on Twitter, they said, and that those individuals that have it on Twitter, let's see if we can't find some of that on Twitter. And then I'll definitely go to it. I don't mind going to it for us, so that while we're all here, there are several stories. Now, somebody actually put in the chat last month, while we were talking about the water, Hoover Dam, and all the other dams or whatever. They were talking about bodies. Was that where they found a body, you guys? Yeah, Lake Mead, right? Mead. Yeah, yeah. And so they just found that body last month. You guys, this is getting really, really close, isn't it? It's getting very close to home, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say? Yeah. I mean, I was literally recording a story dealing with the power, those panels in California. That's what I was doing when this hit. And and as I looked, I said, well, no, it can't be. And then I'm like, no, this is really a real story. Mythed, absolutely mythed. So let's see if there's anything else that I can give you guys. Let's see if this is any better. Oh, here we go. Here's the Twitter feed. Let me give that to you. Let's come over here. So you guys be patient with me because I'm going to give you the Twitter feed that I just found here. Okay. Twitter. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. Let's see if this will allow me to do that. Okay. Play it. And can I get it big? Okay. Can you guys hear it well? Okay. So see where that is. You see where it's located? Let's start it again, you all. It's very short. It's only 12 seconds. See, it's down there in that little area there. Hmm. So, in your opinion, based on what you guys see, does that look like it could be something huge? Unless there is, and you guys, pardon my ignorance, okay? Pardon my ignorance. Is there like a control room that handles everything? And could that be a control room? Do you know what I'm saying? Or is it just, like the side and that building? Because it looks to me like that would not be a touristy area, would it? Oh, it's a substation? Did anybody get to see it when I showed it? It's just a transformer. So then, to you all's knowledge, then inside of there, is that a pivotal part of it? Because I'm ignorant to it. So that part is pivotal. That part is important. I can't understand. I don't know, you guys. This is actually sort of saddening. It really is saddening because we literally covered this last month as far as the water and as far as all of that. And now here we're having all of these things. Now later today, it is very suspicious, Kahana. It is. But I tell you, you all, it's an electrical room. It's very important, Melvin Thomas says. Okay, thank you for telling me that. Because I'm sitting here trying to see, hoping that it's not important. Like maybe it's a lunchroom or something, but no, it's not. And now the Epoch Times has just sent it out too. So, and what I like about them a lot of times is that they generally go into greater detail. They will, it looks like, right, Manny? Manny says, have the blackout started? So now we've got the increased heat that everybody is succumbing to. And now that's a good question. That's a good question because you guys, they handle what, Nevada, as far as their power, right? They deal with Nevada. They deal with what, Colorado. What other area do they handle for their for the power? Oh, Michael, wow, really? How could that not affect the stability at some point? Exactly, Jupiter's realm. That's exactly okay. And okay, so Arizona, California, all of Vegas, California, Los Angeles area. Anyone ever watched the movie Marcus Asks? Force 10 from, okay, Force 10 from, is that Navarone? The bulk of the power goes to Las Vegas, Jack says. Okay. And yes, last man standing. I have to agree, you guys. And I think that's why my heart is so heavy right now. That's why my heart is so heavy because I understand that, yes, this is just that, what last man standing is just said. I think that's why my heart is so heavy. Rebounding from the narcissistic relationship, says Lord, I know, right? Hey, watchful and alert. How are you? Yeah, I just I'm gonna try to show that again, and maybe I'll fish around. Um, Joy says Midwest to Louisiana temperature is 105 to 110 this week. Yeah, I know. I woke up this morning listening to that on the news that was coming across the television because it Well, my husband's sitting up, he's watching the news early, and I don't like it, but he does. And so I heard that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really? I don't know. You know what? I needed to look at those Cruz family, those cards. You see what Cruz family says here is isn't it on one of those Illuminati cards? Could be mining team down below, blew something, blew a fuse. Okay. That's what Robert says. Um, Brian says, how will this affect the Colorado River and Lake Mead? It seems to be things related happening. Yeah. Kim says, this is all by design. Dave Bruce says that it's going to be 109 in his town today. Okay. All right. Let's go on ahead and see if I can find some more information, because by now enough time has elapsed where somebody else is giving us some more information. And I want to try to look at a different source. I do like Epoch. So let's see if they have anyone who can afford to move east. You'll have a better chance of water. Flawed but hopeful, says. Sunset seeing me a few days ago, which may have impacted today. We are notified by space weather and electric disturbances expected. Okay. Gonna flood them. Oh, wow. Lake Lanier. That's Georgia. Yeah. Is Rome on fire? And if so, who's the fiddler? Who is the fiddler? Who is fiddling if Rome is on fire? That's my question. Good news. As Lake Mead dries up, it's a great time for repairs. Get ready for ample water returning after the sun, once gone, decides to give us back water enough in a few thousand years. All right, so I'm getting some more on it right here. Hopefully this will be a better source. All right, here we go, you guys. Let me get some better stuff here. Good afternoon, all. I'm laying in a wheelbarrow on the job watching. Hey, Rage. We knew it was coming. Yes, we said this. I mean, we didn't think it was going to be like this, but we definitely, and I think that's why I'm so that's why my mind is so blown, because we literally just talked about this. We literally held alive about this. We literally dealt with Maslow's hierarchy of needs as it reflects the physiological needs of man. And we also pinpointed that a lot of these things were being attacked that was in that level of your physiological needs, your air and your food and your shelter. And we also covered water at great detail. We covered that day. Great detail. Jonathan Click says the false prophet and cult leader said the Hoover Dam was going down on 11/11/11 and it never happened. Wow. But you know what? I'll tell you, a lot of times when people don't understand how to use their prophecy, because I don't know who that person is, but some people don't understand the gift of prophecy enough to understand how to remove ourselves out of the piece. Because you have to remove yourself out the piece, because you can be considered, hey, James Richter, you can be considered, a false person a lot of times if you don't understand that the gifts of our Father are given without repentance, letter A, and then B, you got to test everything that comes to you. Because see, sometimes, like I saw years ago, and I made sure that I told 3 people when I saw it. I saw them affecting our transportation system. I saw them affecting our trucks and our highways. And then after I saw the highways, literally there were like 2 big incidents that took place that affected the highway. They had something happened. A guy had done something there in Georgia where I was living at the time, and it started a big fire, and they had to shut down a big portion of the highway there and fix it. So I saw that. I saw that before it came. But now get this part. I saw them affecting our trucks. And to the extent that I saw it in a vision, I have not seen it to that extent yet, if that makes any sense. Like our transportation system, I saw that. But I haven't seen it to that extent. But I made sure that when I saw both the highways and the trucks, that I told 3 people that I trust. I told 3 people. So you have to understand how prophecy works. And when you get a message, sometimes you can get that and it's for you to pray and intercede so that it doesn't happen, or that if it does still happen, that it's not going to be as traumatic as it could be, because you don't have control over it. But a lot of people don't understand how that works. And so yeah, so what ends up happening is a lot of people do say, well, yeah, I thought you said blah 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 blah, and I thought you said this and this. So that's why a lot of times if I get something and I don't have my finger directly on it, I say, this is me. I'm not receiving this from the Father. This is me saying this. This is what I think could happen. So that way people don't be thinking that you're crazy. You know what I mean? Or they just throw you to the side and put you with everybody else. And sometimes we people who have gifting, we have to really, really, really make sure that when we give out a word, that we are completely in compliance with the Father. You got to make sure that you are rested up, that you are, that you're prayed up, that you're literally seeing, and you got to test those spirits by the Spirit, because sometimes you can get some stuff and it's some confusion that's not for man. And sometimes you can get something that's for a time off, a far time off, but you're not supposed to share. So everything I see for people, I don't share. Everything I see, I don't share. I may share it with my spouse or my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I'll do that. And then, and then we'll look at each other together later. We'll be like, see, okay, phew, all right. But at least I knew what to intercede about. So, so they finally got him off the air, falsely claimed that we are all fallen angels. Cruising. I don't know that person. I'm sorry to see that. Soul Tribe says, I saw a vision of Chicago underwater. It was like some kind of dam broke or something, that the city was flooding right downtown at the south side was underwater. See, those kinds of visions and those kinds of things are the things we have to go and we have to talk to the Father about that. We have to ask him, tell me about this. What am I supposed to do? What would you like me to do? Is this any validity? Test the Spirit by the Spirit, because not everything that comes to us oftentimes is from him. But something like that could be a warning, right? It's very, very unique understanding these gifts. It's a very, very unique thing to know exactly how we are supposed to deal with stuff sometimes, because sometimes we can get information and it can confuse us and it can confuse the listener and it could cause undue fear in people. And that's not what you want. But sometimes messages that come from the Father, they may seem sort of frightening, but they're necessary. They are necessary a lot of times. You feel me? Sometimes we could get stuff and we'd be like, oh my goodness, that was sort of creepy. Maybe I shouldn't tell that. Man, I've had some dreams before. I've had dreams and I've had some visions. Dion, stop, please. I've had dreams and visions sometimes, and I can be they can be very concerning. They can be very concerning. And I don't want to tell somebody, but again, sometimes you got to write stuff down. You got to tell somebody. Then you got to get in there and go in. You got to get in there and go in. Just get in there and start to just go in and just intercede. You got to go in and do warfare sometime. Sometimes you just got to get in. You got to get it in. But listen, let's go on ahead and let's look at the other stories so that we can find them. I'm going to dig some more. So we're here. I want you to see this right here. But isn't it amazing how people catch the pictures? However, this is why I'm going to say that it's not so bad that they caught these pictures, because this is a touristy area, right? I hope that it's still a touristy area and that they're not just, telling us that this is what's going on. And we're like, who took the picture? Because you know how I am with Rosa Parks. I'm like, I don't believe Rosa Parks was a real hero. That's just me. And I always say the reason why, because I'm like, these were not the days of cell phones. How do we have all these pictures about Rosa Parks? So there's another photo right there. I'm like, what do they do? Just wait for somebody to, oh, let's just go check on her. Oh, I understand there's a black woman that's not moving off the bus. Let's go. No, they create the heroes. They create the martyrs. They create them, and then they want us to just get along with it. Nobody asks any questions. How did they take so many stoic pictures of this chick? How do they have so many different sides? What do they do? Say, we want you to get off this bus, but hold on a second. What do they do? The bus driver jump off the bus and run and go to the phone booth. I'm going to need a police officer. And can you please make a quick stop over at the newspaper people? Tell them to bring a camera quick. Tell them to bring 3 cameras with 3 different angles. I don't like that. I don't like that. So that's why I say, looking at these photos, I don't know. I don't know, you guys. What do you think about this? Oh, yes, that would be so helpful. That would be so helpful. Mateo Garcia says Trump lost. Yeah, we see. It's clearly a transformer. So Jack Walsh, it's clearly a transformer. So that means that that's not good, right? Hey, Tappy. Hey, Tappy. Hey, Betty R. Who cares if he lost? Who cares if he won? None of us care. That's what people don't understand is that over here, we're not even tripping on that because a lot of us already know that there is no them plus us. Them, it's not one and then another team. They all the same team. We know that on this side of town. We know that on this side of town. And that's the reason why we can talk about everybody equally because we're not beholden to one or the other. The majority of the people that come over here are all beholden to one, and that is the Father in heaven and the works that his son did on Golgotha's mountain. We are beholden to the work that was done up on Golgotha's mountain. That's what we are. Okay. All right. So we understand who Yah is. And I say Yah. Yes, I do. I say Yahweh. I do. But the deal is we know who he is and we know the majestic work that's been done for us. So we don't trip on it being, you know, this 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 right or this left side because we all see it as one. We see them as one. We don't see them as being, So when y'all come for us over here like that, we don't even trip. We just know. We just let you be. We just let your number add. That's all. You help us by adding to the number. Okay. So Zeb Johnson says we had a transformer hit by lightning at my work. It took 3 days to replace. Whoa. Kahana says there are controllers in the comms room. Okay. Kahana, you know about this? Do you want to come up and talk? Because I can give you I can give you a link if you don't mind, please. If you don't mind, I really want somebody to help us with this because I'm gonna tell you guys, I need you on this one. I don't know anything about this kind of stuff. And I, I remember when we were dealing with that dam up in California, the one that had the big crack in it, and then we were all saying, well, how come they didn't fix it then? And remember, I think it was when President Obama was in, and it was that main dam in California, and they had to fix the crack, but the Army Corps of Engineers had already warned them about that one. Somebody put the name in the chat. I don't, all I know is the importance of what will happen if that thing broke and how it would affect everybody and how the water. I learned all of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So horrible. Yeah, that was it, Stephanie. It was horrible. You see what I mean? So that's the reason why, Robert. So that's the reason why Orville Dam. So that's the reason why I'm asking for anybody that knows about this that I can vet that before you come up, because it looks like we got a couple of people in the chat that's just sort of interested. But I really do. Kahana, would you mind coming up? If you say yes, I'll go ahead and give you the link so that you can come up. Okay. Fine Liberty says overloaded natural coronal mass injections or CME or sabotage. The newer green transformer oil doesn't hold up like the older PCB oil did for insulation and cooling. Wow. See, I lean on you guys for information because I feel like you guys are the smartest. Collectively, you guys are the smartest. You are. I mean, I don't know a lot of the stuff. I do my own research and I pull up what I can feel. You know what I mean? I pull up things like that, and then I have a lot of you all send things to my email so that we can cover it. But as far as having the knowledge that you guys have collectively, oh no, man, I can't touch it. I can't do any of this without you guys. I just can't. Betty R says, Sweetie Trump didn't make anything better. Okay, wow. You know, I don't want to even get into that right now. You know why, you guys? Because at the end of the day, none of it even matters. We don't know whether he's a Cheshire cat. We don't know any of that stuff. All we got to do is just keep our faith in one direction. Because I feel like once we start to divide our faith and divide us amongst each other, it just makes it easier to attack us. Because now we're divided. And once you're divided, you're not together. So if you're not together, then the whole is assaulted. You see what I mean? The body as a whole gets assaulted. So I don't want us to divide ourselves like that, you guys. I sort of want us to sort of leave all that stuff to the side so that for the greater good of the body, that we have strength in our numbers and standing together. Because to me, that's so important. When we can see evidence of bad in any side, which is the reason why I thought that whole thing about the lesser of the two evils was not so nice. Because if you're going to take the lesser of the two evils, aren't you still taking evil? Yeah, you are. And so because of that, I sort of don't want to even go in that vein. I sort of like to keep it just where it's all us, trusting and leaning on each other's strength, because that's where we get that's where we get the results I believe that we want. Because right now we need each other. We really do need one another. Doesn't matter. Color don't matter, size or shape, height, width. None of those things matter. What matters is understanding who we are. Okay. So I get it. Yes, Fifi, it flooded all the workers' home and then killed many. Wow. Okay. Yes, he did. Sorry, I came onto the wrong page. No, I don't think you came into the wrong page. I think you're on the right page, baby. You here. Ain't never, ever, 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 ever no mistakes. Okay. All right. So let me look here, you guys. All right. You guys stay here. I'm here too, but I'm going to look and see if there's anything else. Any more stories? See if they've updated some of their stories. All right, let's check this out. Let's see what we've got now. Is this a news feed? Oh, we're going to look at it. How long is it? Let's see. It looks like they still have the same one. Is this longer? Who is this? I don't know whose page this is. I need it to be a regular news source so that I can cite it and keep it pushing. Now, on June 16th, it looks as if Hoover Dam reached an all-time low on June 16th. So just about a year ago, a couple of days ago. So now we can only imagine that it is a great deal lower now. How does that play into this fire? I don't know. We'll have to check it out. All right, so let's get news. And here you go, you guys. Oh, ABC. Maybe theirs is bigger. Looks like they've got the same information that everybody else does. Probably because they're now orchestrating the story. See, they always throw it out, and then after that, they start to build the story. I'm wondering if we should just go right into our actual our time frame, because we had some stories that I was dealing with regards to our 3:00 show. And our 3:00 show, we were dealing with all of the stuff in the corruption that was going on with the government. And I guess maybe if you guys don't mind, we could go into it now, or we could just wait till 3. But we're dealing with a lot of the secretive stuff that I just found out was amazing to me. So anyway, it just says the same thing, that police in Boulder City, Nevada, say that they are headed to the Hoover Dam after reports of an explosion Tuesday morning. Videos on social media, the same thing, show the huge plumes of black smoke swirling above the building. The calls to the police at the dam and the Bureau of Land Management officials for information were not immediately returned. I wonder if I can find that phone number and call it myself. Let's see. Boulder Police, Boulder City, Nevada. I'm going to try. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's call. I mean, hey, why not? In Nevada, Boulder City, Nevada. Non-emergency. All right, let's see. Can you imagine if they say, ma'am, we can't tell you nothing. Don't call here no more.
Department. If this is a police, fire, or medical emergency, hang up and dial 911. For a non-emergency police matter, press 1 for dispatch. For the Records Bureau, press 2. For VIN inspection, press 3. For the school resource officer, press 4. For the Detective Bureau, press 5.
Okay, you guys. Which one should I choose? Which one should I choose? Maybe I should go 2.
This key is not valid.
Well, the 0 don't work.
Again. You have reached the Boulder City Police Department. If this is a police, fire, or medical emergency,
maybe we should hit. I just hit the 0, Tilly.
911. For a non-emergency police matter, press 1 for dispatch. For the Records Bureau, press 2. For VIN inspection, press 3. For the school resource officer, press 4. For the Detective Bureau, press 5. And for the department secretary, press 6.
So what should I do, you guys? 5? Press 2. I'm going to try 2. I'm going to try 5. I'm just going to be honest with them. I hope they don't think I'm some kooky person. Hi, yes. My name is Felicia Lockhart, and I am a YouTuber, and I was actually calling to see if there's anybody that has any public information about what happened here at the at you all's lake. I think it's the Hoover Dam out there. So I'm a YouTuber, and we're covering the dam and what we saw that happened today. I got a little alert, and so I saw it, and I am live. Not that you're live, I'm live, but I was just calling to see if there's any more information, because all we see here, I'm in Alabama, but all we see here is that there was a fire. Does anybody have any new public information? Not any information that you guys would be privy to, but like anything that the public could know about that I could maybe share, because it doesn't, when I look out here on Twitter, all I see is like a little building with smoke coming up. It's a 10-second video, but I'm wondering if there's any public info. Okay, that's a good idea. Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, thank you, sir. All right. What he suggested that we call is the parks to ask. I gotta be honest with people, because you got what is it called, caller ID, and you don't want people thinking that you're some quackpot. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. I just want to know what's going on. How do I find out? And so he said to call the park system, and that's good. Give them your name, tell them who you are. You're not some weirdo. You know what I mean? I'm not into some weirdo stuff. Oh, really? What? Wow. Okay, so maybe they were arrested just as showing a show of solidarity. Let's check it out. It looks like AOC was arrested. Girl, what you have done to yourself. Do your mama and them know what you have become? Let's check it out and see. Let's check it out and see, because this is amazing. So I thought that was nice of him to tell us where, where we could, where we could look for that information. So let me look here. I'm going to put this in because I do want to see this. I want to see what's going on with that whole piece. Okay, there we go. Not that. What is that? That's not it. That's not what I just picked up over here about this woman, AOC. I think they're trying to show that they've done something in the show of solidarity, is what I think. Maybe they're trying to make themselves martyrs. Let's check it out. AOC is among Democrat members of Congress, including fellow squad members arrested outside of the Supreme Court during the Roe v. Wade protests, and pretends like she's in handcuffs. Well, I don't know why she's pretending. I'm sure she's done that quite often. The handcuffs piece. Okay, anyway, so let me give you guys the rest of Let me give you the story. Bad, Felicia. That was not nice. Be nice now. So and pretending, so she was pretends like she's in cuffs. What is this? This is a major distraction here. What is this? This is garbage. But let me go ahead. Um, Progressive Representative Ocasio-Cortez, Omar, and other Democrats, members of Congress, were arrested outside of the Supreme Court on Tuesday protesting the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Ocasio-Cortez was seen walking, escorted by police, with her hands crossed behind her back as if she were in handcuffs, but she was not. At one point, she uncrossed her hands and raised her fist to other protesters. What on the planet is going on this place? It's like we bumped into another universe that resembled the one we knew. Other members are being detained by officers, include Representative Cori Bush, Democrat of Missouri, Ayanna Pressley. Oh, they're just making a mess. Nydia Velasquez, Jackie Spire, a whole bunch of other folks. Abortion rights protesters have gathered outside the Supreme Court nearly every day since the overturning of Roe and Dobbs in Jackson versus the Health Organization in June. So this is a distraction, which means I need to see what's going on our borders. I need to check out this right here tells me if you've given up them, and if you're bringing this story out, and if you're giving up this story about the dam, that means that something's going on. So I need to look that up. That's what I need to do. And where should I look? Yeah, that's what this tells me. This tells me that there's something else that they're covering up. Yes, Tanisha. Yes, Tanisha. Absolutely. Yes, they are. Disciple of the Messiah. Hey, yeah, look to CERN. Let me see over there because I stay on deck with them. All right, let's see what's going on today in news today, if there's any news today. You know what? I did see something. I don't know what that is. Let me put in today. Something's going on that they don't want us to pay attention to. Picturing doo-wop with CERN. On this day in 1992, a photo was taken of a band called Les Horrible Cernettes. All the women in the doo-wop group consisted of who? Oh, who cares? Some garbage. I'm going to have to go into intercession, you guys. I already feel it. There's something that's up. I don't know what, but why are they? What is it that they? Maybe it's the stories that I'm covering later today that may have some validity. Maybe, let me tell you guys the stories that I'm covering, okay? Let me give it to you. Let me give it to you straight, no chaser. All right. You guys might lose my vocal on this side as well, because when I go back and forth from side to side, it'll make that crazy noise or that glitching thing, that type stuff. All right. Other bookmarks. All right. Here you go. I'm going to show you this one. You guys probably already noticed, though. And then we won't come on later today. Okay, we're not going to come on later today because then I would have already done this and it would be like, this is boring. It's the same stories. Okay, here. All right, now this is a really quick one. The DOL policy shields vulnerable workers who lack work authorization from deportation. So that's one of the stories that we're about to cover. Okay. All right. So days after an influential open borders group ordered the government to promptly develop and implement a policy to protect illegal immigrants involved in labor disputes from deportation, the Biden administration has obliged. I need to confirm that you guys see this page. This comes from the Judicial Watch. All right. I really like that guy and his work. I do. I like his work. So let's take a look at that. And then I'm going to show you the other stories that I pulled together for you guys that go along with that. All right. So this will be the first one that we're looking at right now. And I'm going to give you guys the full screen so that you all can see it. All right. All right. Now let me make it bigger for you guys so y'all can see it well. Here you go. That way you can follow along. Okay. I believe you all can see that. And then I'm going to give you the next story that tag teams this one. All right. All right, so days after an influential border group ordered the government to promptly develop and implement a policy to protect illegal immigrants involved in labor disputes from deportation, the Biden administration has obliged. This month, the Department of Labor, or DOL, issued a new measure drafted in English and Spanish offering immigration related prosecutorial discretion for undocumented workers involved in labor disputes with their U.S. employers, created at the request of the Los Angeles-based Center for Human Rights and Constitutional Law. The policy directs illegal alien workers to contact the agency if they fear supervisors will try to get authorities to deport them for reporting workplace abuse. The DOL will then contact the Department of Homeland Security to request the undocumented employee be protected from deportation, according to the measure. Quote, the DOL's mission is effective enforcement depends on the cooperation of workers. The recently issued guidance states, quote, however, vulnerable workers who lack work authorization or sufficiently portable immigration status are often reluctant to report violations, engaged with government enforcement agencies, or otherwise exercise their rights, close quote. The document continues by offering the following example. Undocumented workers who experience labor law violations may fear that cooperating with an investigation will result in the disclosure of their immigration status, or that a family members, or that it will result in immigration-based retaliation from their employer and adverse immigration consequences for themselves or their families. Wow, we do everything we can to protect those who are here illegally. Just send them back and find the company. Moving on, it goes on to say, as a result, both workers and the department face barriers to equitable and effective enforcement of workplace rights and protections, and many employers that adhere to labor and employment laws face unfair competition. Undocumented workers experiencing a labor dispute, they're instructed to submit a statement of interest to the DOL in support of a request to the DHS for immigration, so they can go all the way to the top. You got a complaint, you ain't able to go to the top. You can't go to the Department of Labor. No, they get to go right to the top. So of a request to DHS for immigration-related prosecutorial discretion, the new guidance says requesters. Now, the requesters should include a description of the labor dispute, any retaliation or threats that they've experienced, and then a description of how fear of potential immigration-related retaliation or other immigration enforcement in key features is likely to deter workers from reporting violations related to the labor disputes or otherwise cooperating with the DOL. The agency will assess each request by considering several factors, including whether the DHS use of immigration-related prosecutorial discretion would support DOL's interest in holding labor law violators accountable and whether immigration enforcement of witnesses or victims could impede the DOL's ability to enforce labor laws or provide all available remedies within its jurisdictions. The agency will also consider the likelihood that immigration enforcement could be an instrument to undermine the DOL's enforcement of laws in the geographic area or industry and or give rise to further immigration-based retaliation. In a press release celebrating the new policy, the DOL explains that to carry out the laws that it enforces, workers must feel free to participate in investigations and proceedings without fear of retaliation or consequences related to their immigration status. The department, this is a quote, the department has long supported DHS's use of prosecutorial discretion on a case-by-case basis for certain workers subjected to abusive and exploitative labor practices. The DOL writes, adding that for decades, the department has memorialized this relationship through agreements with immigration officials. And as example, the agency lists an agreement between the DOL and the DHS to work together to ensure that their respective civil worksite enforcement activities do not conflict, and recognizing that effective enforcement of law, of labor and law is essential to ensure proper wages, boy, and working conditions for all workers, regardless of their immigration status. So why do we even have an immigration department, and why do we encourage people to come here legally and to go through the classes and to learn about our Constitution, which is now null and void? Well, why do we do that if we're just going to let everybody just come on in and get the rights and just take it to court, everybody take it to court? The story goes on to say that it appears that the DOL issued its new policy to protect illegal immigrant workers in response to demands by the Center for Human Rights and Constitutional Law, an open borders group that claims to protect the civil, constitutional, and human rights of immigrants, refugees, children, prisoners, and the poor. In the recent letter to the DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and DOL Secretary Martin Walsh, the group asked the administration to increase the willingness of immigrant workers to assert their labor and civil rights. How do you have civil rights in a place that ain't yours? We are in Lululand. It says, and ensure immigration enforcement does not become a tool of unscrupulous employers. This letter is to provide support for the effort to promptly develop and implement a more robust policy aimed at encouraging immigrant workers to report labor law violations and cooperate in their investigation, and to extend temporary protection from arrest or removal to the immigrant workers engaged in the labor disputes, the group writes. Within days, the administration implemented the new policy. Can you get a policy pushed like that? Do you have that kind of success? Have we ever had this kind of success? What frickin' Lulu town are we living in? We are truly living in Lulu town. Let me give you another one, because this one, if you're like me, this one steamed my chonies. This one right here steamed my chonies. It really did. It really did. I got this one, and then I got another one for you. They all came from this nice guy. I love the work that he does. He has a channel here on YouTube. You guys, if you're not already subscribed to this man, you need to check him out. I really appreciate his work. All right, so this one, this one right here is going to steam your chonies, because it steamed mine. It made me really, really upset, because I couldn't believe that we're allowing this cat to do the stuff that he does. But nonetheless, I digress. Let me paste this in this one and give it to you guys straight, no chaser. Here it is. This is what we were talking about today at 3. Soros-linked group wins $172 million contract from Biden to help border crossers avoid deportation. Let me let y'all see that, and then let it sink in. I need you to see it, then I need you to let it sink in. This is our country. This land is your land. This land is my land. Look at this. See that? And I hope I gave it to you the whole thing. Yeah, I did. Look at that. You see that? Hmm. Charlie Sigler. Hey, look at that. Now that we've stared at it, let me go ahead and read it. It was affected, Pastor Ross. Or are you talking about the most recent story? Because I'm still stuck on, because we couldn't get any information, and I'm not calling the forest people. But here it goes. $172 million contract from Biden to help the border crossers avoid deportation. A left-wing group linked to billionaire George Soros has won a nearly $172 million federal contract from President Joe Biden's administration to help young border crossers avoid deportation, a report revealed this week. Fox News' Adam Shaw and Joe Schaufstall reported on Thursday that the Vera Institute of Justice, with financial ties to Soros, has won a federal contract for $171.7 million that will provide attorneys to unaccompanied alien children, or UACs, to avoid deportation from the United States. The federal contract could end up showering the Vera Institute with of Justice with $1 billion in taxpayer funding. This is from reports that came from Fox. Quote, now this is in this part, the emphasis is added here. The arrangement lasts until March 2023, but can reach as high as $983 million if renewed until March of 2027, the agreement shows. This appears to be the largest federal contract Vera has secured for immigration-related services for any single year dating back to the mid-2000s. And it has emphasis added. I'm not gonna... Anyway, it goes on to say that the Vera Institute, meanwhile, is propelled by taxpayer-backed government grants and contracts, like the one it secured in March between July 1st, 2020 and June 30th, 2021 of $152 million of the group's $191 million in revenue, and it came from government sources, the most recent financial audit shows. Now, the Institute seeks to end the massive incarceration by cutting down the numbers of jails, prisons, and detention centers in the United States. The group has also signaled for support of defunding the police. Now, as Breitbart News reported in 2018, the Vera Institute of Justice was previously awarded $310 million by the Obama administration to the UACs to help them avoid deportation. The group also takes taxpayer money via sanctuary jurisdictions. And in 2019, for instance, the Vera Institute of Justice worked with the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to create a program dedicated to helping illegal aliens avoid deportation, specifically by providing them with free legal services. So I wanted to bring that to you. That's what I wanted to bring to you. So you see. So you see. So you see. So you see. Very creepy. Very creepy. You guys think I should call them and get the phone number? You think I should get the phone number? Think I should get the phone number? Think I should get the phone number to the city park thingy out there and ask them? Or do you think they're going to think I'm some weirdo? I mean, I was just talking to a police detective. He didn't seem to think I was a weirdo. But then again, you never can read those type. He probably did think I was a weirdo. And I wouldn't disagree with him. I wouldn't, there would be no disagreements with him. But now there's one other story that I did want to bring you guys that was still a part of this whole loopity loop thing that I got here. Let's all move to to Canada and eat crickets. Okay. Okay. All right. So there was another story that I have for you guys here that goes along with this one. Let me see if I can find it here. All right. Is this it? This is the Breitbart one. That was the one that we just read, came from Breitbart. Okay. Now, the next one is, oh, the Army. Yeah, because, we were military. And so I did want to read this. This story I do want to read. And because it has nothing to do with the stuff that we just talked about, but it's just really not nice. In my impression, it's just really something that's just not nice. And it's something that happened. And I just thought we ought to look at it today. And this will be the last one, and then I'll just go on ahead and take down our story from our live for 3 o'clock today, because we're increasingly getting close to that. And let me share it with you so that you have it. Okay, let's take that face off. Don't you sometimes think that some of these people live forever, but they live forever, but they're not alive? Whenever I look at him, it just reminds me of somebody who's not alive. That's just what I get. That's just me. I get these ideas. I that's how my brain works sometimes. All right, so let me give you guys the whole screen so that you have it. Betrayal. Army cuts off pay and benefits for unvaccinated National Guard soldiers and reservists. And the reason why I'm showing this, and the reason why I believe it touches my heart and it makes me a little sad, is because of the fact that here we are, giving up all of our stuff, giving up all of our oil. We don't hardly have any, people to help protect anymore. They're having these great big job fairs now from the military, but it says the Army National Guardsmen and the Army Reservists who've not received their, pokey poke will no longer be allowed to perform their duties, meaning they're being stripped of their pay and their benefits effective July 1st, 2022. So that was what, a couple of weeks back. Let me make sure you guys can hear. Okay, great. 2022. There we are. Okay. Now, the soldiers without an approved or pending exemption may participate in federally funded drills and may not participate in federally funded drills and training and will not receive pay or retirement credit, the Army said in a report that came from Fox. So Fox released the story that came from the military. Twitter users sounded off on the decision. In a betrayal, Biden would allow 60,000 members of the Army and the National Guard to have their careers destroyed over a vindictive and unneeded mandate. This comes from Mr. Tom Fenton. Oh, read more? I wonder what will happen if I do. I don't want to see the glasses. I don't want to see the junk. Let's do it like that. Can you guys see that? Nope, you can't, but I will make it so that you can. Hold on, let me get this. Come back on your side and let you see it. Come back over here. Let me get this. There we go. There we are. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you can see it. Oh, this is the rest. Yeah, that is the rest. And you can see it. All right. So the Army National Guardsmen and the Army Reservists who have not received their ding, 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 will no longer be able to perform their duties. They won't get any money. They won't do da-da-da-da. It affects 40,000 National Guards and 22,000 reserve soldiers. Just let that freaking stick. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in. That's like 62,000 soldiers. That's wow. So we're going to have that. Oh, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin warned in November that those who continued to refuse it would be kicked out. This has to be a quote. The move comes in the midst of the annual training season, during which the part of the soldiers are often ordered to serve from 2 weeks to a month with their units for summer training exercises. Those training events are usually critical for soldiers to sharpen their military skills and for the unit commanders to ensure their formations are ready to deploy if needed. Boy, is it wrong for me to hope that those who are doing all this bad stuff will be the first to receive the brunt end of their meanness? Because that's exactly what I hope sometimes. I hope that they set a trap and that trap they fall in. That's what I hope. So anyway, it says that if it says the long term impact may mean many soldiers would be forced to leave, and a devastating outcome, especially in the middle of the recruiting crisis, as the Defense Department officials struggle to fill the ranks. Now, does anybody remember when they were really attacking our, what do they call them? There's a nickname they give them, but they were the Marines. They were just knocking them down, taking the numbers, just getting rid of them more and more and more. I need to do a follow-up with that to find out how many of the Marines still exist, because they were just depleting them by droves. It goes on to say, but the Army is working to ensure soldiers get it. Quote, we're going to give it to every soldier, every opportunity. We're going to give them every opportunity to get it and continue their military career. This is from the director of Army Guard, Lieutenant John Jensen. That's what he told military.com. We're not giving up on anybody until the separation paperwork is signed and completed. So I wonder what they're going to do to their DD 214s. I wonder what they're going to look like when they come into contact with, human resources people, that we request your DD 214. If you told us you've been in the military, we need it because we want to see how you were separated. So I wonder what they're going to decorate their DD 214s with before these soldiers leave. Thus far, it goes on to say, only 6 soldiers' medical exemptions were approved. No religious exemptions were granted for Guard or Reserve soldiers, despite thousands of requests. Twitter users sounded off. Here goes what one Twitter user said. In a betrayal, Biden will allow 60,000 members of the Army National Guard to have their careers destroyed over vindictive, unneeded vaccine mandate. Okay, that's what one person said. We saw who that was, too. 60,000 National Guard and Reserve troops just had their pay and benefits stolen by the Biden administration because they won't get the blank, 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 responded Republican Tennessee congressional candidate Robbie Starbuck. Quote, I'm calling on all red state governors to issue state active duty orders so they at least get a paycheck still. The next one says, quote, Joe Biden cut off pay and benefits to 60,000 members of the National Guard and Reserves because they chose not to receive an experimental situation. This comes from Claudia Tenney, Republican of New York. She continues, Joe Biden is continuing his war on individual freedom, and now he's set his sights on our brave men and women in uniform. And it breaks my heart. It really does. It really, really does. So it goes on to say, Fox News contributor, Dr. Jeanette, I'm sorry, lady, I don't want to mess your name up. It looks like Neshwaite. Meanwhile, called it a big mistake. Now, the CDC is another quote. The CDC allowed allowed us sick doctors and nurses to work while COVID positive. But you're penalizing those who already have natural immunity, knowing the current vaccine doesn't stop the transmission or the acquisition of COVID, she said. And that was a quote that is not from this channel. That is a quote from this story, period. And I got to get off of this story because it's very close to home for me and it hurts my heart. So I don't want to belabor that. But what do you guys think of that? What do you think of any of the stories? What do you think of the George Soros linked group funding all of that? What's going on with that? Does anybody have any concerns about that? I mean, it seems like we're taking a lot of money from a lot of different people who really shouldn't even be able to give money and to do things like this, being that we know who they are. But just the mere fact that we know who they are shows me the problem. It tells me the issue. I feel like I should never know something that they know and nothing is being addressed. That's how I feel. I feel like if it's something that I know, that I should only know it because they've already dealt with it and there is now the solution that takes that person and puts them away. That's how I feel. And I feel that by us knowing that this gentleman is wanted in other countries, and us knowing that he became a citizen here, and us knowing that in tandem with that, he now funds a great deal of things that affect us as a nation, I feel that it does us a great disservice. And I know what my guest said the other night, but while we had him here, we were talking about the whole impeachment thing. Um, but how about Sri Lanka? How are they doing? They got a little upset recently and decided to go on in and move some furniture around. How about Sri Lanka? Hmm? How they doing? They got a little tired. I'm gonna have to go to bed shoot in a minute because I feel it coming on. Sri Lanka ain't joking. Those people are not kidding. And I understand that, yes, they're going to send in some band aids to stop what's going on. And the band aids are all obviously going to be coming from other areas that want to see the people suffer. But the people of that place is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the power they took within their own hands. They went in, drank up that cat's liquor, kicked it in his pool, sat in the living room couch, ran homeboy all the way where he needed to go, and now he ain't there right now, baby. Now, I don't know what it's going to end up being, but I do know that some stuff took place. And I do know that some folks got tired. And I do know that when I see this type of stuff, I believe that if we could look at it and lay it all out on a table, as if we were all at a boardroom meeting and we just laid it all out, I think that we would all end up pulling our heads up from looking down at the table, and we would all decide collectively, yeah, it's time. It's time. It's time. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. This, Father, I really just ask that you would just allow us to continue to be at rest, understanding who you are, understanding that you are in control. And I thank you right now, Father, because we know the end of the story. We know the end of the story. We know that you win. We know that you win. We know that you win. We know that you win, and we know that there are people out there that need us to lift them up. And we're doing that right now, as we just ask that you will continue to take care of your people. Even though we're in this place right now, we are just living here. We ain't of it. We in here. We live in here. But this ain't our place. We understand that we are sojourners, that we're making our way through here, Father. And we're making our way through, but as we make our way through, we keep our eyes on you. We look to the hills from whence cometh our help, because our help comes from you and you alone. It is you who made us, who formed us, who created us. You made us in your image. And we thank you that even though we here are of a specific age where we can all remember when things were different, that we will not be like Lot's wife and look back, but we will continue to look forward, and we will continue to press toward the mark of the prize of the high calling, which is in Christ Jesus. And we thank you right now because, well, we have to do your word. We have to do your word. You ask us to put you in remembrance of your word, and we remind you and thank you that you said no weapon that is formed against us would prosper, but that every tongue that rose up against us in judgment, that you would condemn. And we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you that greater works than the works that Yahushua did while you were here, you said we would do. Why? Because you were going on. And now the Ruach HaKodesh, better known as the Holy Spirit, is rocking inside of us. And so we thank you. We thank you. We thank you for peace because we're keeping our mind stayed upon you. Because you said that you would give us perfect peace for those who kept our mind stayed on you. You would keep us in perfect peace. And we thank you right now. Because no matter how many of these stories that I have on these tabs, no matter how many days away that I have to take away from being here because it's just too much of the world, and I have to take a couple of days back, no matter how many of those, we still know that you're in control. That it's because of you that we move, that we live, that we breathe, that we have our being, that you will be able, and you have always been able, to be mighty in battle. And because you are mighty in battle, the battle's not mine, but it's yours. Because the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one who endures until the end. And so I stand. I stand in awe of your greatness. I stand in awe of how remarkable you are. I stand in awe of the fact that you have and have demonstrated in the past the ability to feed us in the middle of a famine, to take care of us on a per diem, day by day basis. When I look at the manna, when I look at my life, when I look at the things that you've done in the past, when I look at how you never missed a beat, but you've been here for us, we thank you. We glorify you because of who you are. It's not anything that we've done. And there can be a lot of naysayers that will tell us that we shouldn't look to you. But hey, some of us are 40, 50, 60 years old, and it ain't been nobody but you in the past. So I submit that you and you alone are worthy to be praised. That you and you alone are worthy to receive all accolades. And we bow to you and your greatness. We bow to you and your awesomeness. We trust you. We trust your word. And right now we decree and we declare that everything that ain't like you, that would attempt to stand up and replace you, will fall. Everything that's not of you, everything that would attempt to stand up and attempt to replace you, it will all fall. Every inch, every lie will be exposed on a grand scale. Since things are done on such grand scale, we thank you and we believe that we receive when we ask you for all these things in your magnificent, magnificent Son's name, whereby no man will be saved. Yahweh Shah, better known as Jesus. Slice it and dice it any way you want to, but we know the truth. I don't care what lie came from over here or what lie came from over there or how this got twisted around. Right now, you need to be connected to truth. You need to be connected to him. We thank you right now. We thank you right now. We thank you right now. I thank you guys for hanging out with me. I thank you guys for checking on me when I get messages from all of you guys and just allowing me to be me. I thank you guys for that. I thank you guys for that, man. I tell you, it's a blessing when you're with people who just love you for you or like you for you or allow you to be you for who you are and don't try to make you into these other people. You know what I mean? Or expect for me to do things. Oh, thank you so much for that blessing. I appreciate you. Hey, it's one of my sons, Shaq. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So it's just what it is. It's just what it is. It is what it is. All right. Hey, Sammy. I'm glad you're here. We need you. Okay. We need you. We need each other. Fit together, jointly fit together. And I like people that have different mindsets and different ideas because it helps us all. if I can see something from your perspective, huh? Then if I can see something from your perspective, it may not be like, what me and R. Jones see, or what me and Ruby see, all right, or what me and Michael S. see. But if we can see it from you and we can hear what you got to say, right, Sarah? Right, Eddie? Right? We can all see it. We can all chat about it. We can all talk about it. We can all work it out. Then it makes us have a whole lot more good sense. It really does. It makes us have a whole lot more good sense. That's real country, I know. That's real country, I know. But because we are thinking together and because we are standing together, because we know that right now it's head tucking time. You have to tuck your head down and trust. You ever been in a fight and that cat attempts to get the best of you? And while you down like this right here, protecting and shielding your head, you're replenishing yourself, you're breathing, you're still moving, but you're breathing. And then all of a sudden, when you stand up erect, you're mad. You ever been in that situation where you've been mad? I was raised in Los Angeles, California, and girls used to pick on me all the time. Listen to her speak. Why doesn't she talk like us? Used to go off. You think you're white? No, I don't. So I had to learn to tuck. Tuck and run. I had to run. I had to hit back and take off. But there's one thing about that adrenaline. And once it starts to flow throughout your body, baby, and you begin to take off, all of a sudden that second wind kicks in, and that's what you got. That's what you got, Joyce. You got that second wind. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Cindy, you got that second wind. Sonia got it. That second wind. You ain't gonna lose. You got it. Netta T. Roy Lyon got it too. Al Spicer got it. All of y'all got it. Yeah, everybody got it. Sometimes it's time to lift each other up. It's time to lift each other up. Every single one of you guys that are here. Even Wrong Horse, I like that name, Wrong Horse. All of you guys. Y'all all got it. Debbie Lonzo, you got it. Lozano, Debbie Lozano, you got it. You got it. Hmm? Hmm. All of y'all got it. Why? Because you here. You here. Thank you, Patriot Wolf. I appreciate you, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you. You see? Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. Y'all got it. Because everybody's differences and different perspective help the body. And we must stay connected in love. We must stay connected. We have to. All the divisiveness that we see, we cannot allow that to reign inside of us. You take it, you shake it off, and then you continue to put your hand out to help somebody else. Because I tell you right now, as we walk in this life together, we have to understand that I'm only as strong as the person standing next to me. That's why I said earlier today, I couldn't do any of this without you all. I have people that sending me messages, lifting me up, sending me emails, lifting me up, telling me, let's go, keep going, let's keep going. Then I think about somebody and I'm sending them text messages, people who extended their phone numbers to me. I'm sending them texts, hey, I ain't seen you. You okay? Sending them emails. Are you all right? People know. They'll tell you. Folks in the chat will tell you. People who've been with me for a minute, they'll tell you. I come a looking. I don't see you. Hey, I'm lifting you up. I'm interceding for you. And then sometimes people say, yeah, you know what? I just turned off, internet and everything. And it's all good. I just want to make sure you're okay. Why? Because we're in all of this together. It does not matter who you are, where you come from, how poor, how rich. Do you understand? It don't matter to me. I don't care. I don't care how rich a person is. I don't care how poor they are. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you black, dark complected. I don't care if you're the lightest light. I don't care if you're Asian. I don't care if you're Hispanic. I don't care. If you and I can come to a happy medium and believe together and work through things together, I got the seeds and you may have the soil. And together we can eat. That's all that matters. I got the feed and you got the biddies. And together we can eat. But I can't just keep all of my feed over here and you got the biddies over there. But now we could eat. But because I'm being stingy and you got the biddies, you got the chickens, I got the feed. Your chickens will starve. How am I gonna eat with just the feed? So what you have and what I have together, we're going to make it work. And that is what I want to impress everybody today before we leave up out of here. And that is, everybody, keep your pipeline clear. Stay in love. Walk in peace so that you can continue to receive what the Father wants to do with you and through you for others. Right? And you can do it just like anybody else can. Listen, if I, a woman who is paralyzed and have been like this since 2006, can get kicked in the butt by Bettina to come here and do this with you guys for the last, being on the internet here for the last few years now, you all got that too. Just take it and do it. Trust that he's going to help you and you'll be able to bless somebody in your neighborhood. If it ain't nothing but you see 2 bags of rice, one, buy one, get one, and you already got enough, and you maybe give it to a neighbor or something. This is how we all work together. This is how we all do it. This is how we do it. We do it by just, doing the best that we can, but keeping all of ourselves connected, because believe it or not, there are connections right now that are not celestial of our Father. But there are individuals who are all connected to one another right now. Please believe it. We're connected to him. So we need to stay connected to one another. Okay? All right, y'all. Let's get on up out of here. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us today. The story, as it becomes a little bit more clear as to what's going on with that dam, I'm going to change the title of this. I'm going to keep that. And then I'm also going to add some other things to the story. So that way, everybody that sees it does not feel as if it is clickbait, as it most assuredly could appear if somebody, for example, came in right now. So I'm going to edit the title to make sure that it reflects everything that we talked about. And then I'm also going to make sure that I put the links in for the things that we've talked about. So it'll give me a minute for us to put it all together. But you will have it, all right? Because I want to make sure that you have it. They keep with the severe weather warnings, but that's all right. You need to know the name of our fathers, the heavenly angels, so that and know what each one of them are for. See, it's amazing because sometimes we'll find out a lot of stuff that the other side does, and that what they do, and the bad guy and all this other stuff, but we never really know anything about what the Father, his whole entire the whole entire system there. We only know a few things, and I think it's really good for us to learn more about what he has going on. Not just the books that were canonized by the Catholic Church. We need to know more. But here's the one thing I want to leave with everybody right now. Love. love, forgiveness, and love. Please walk in love. It's not easy. I'm going to give you fair warning, but the more you practice that muscle, the easier it'll become. Women, we have to close this sometimes because right now our husbands are going through some stuff and they don't know how to cope with some of it and they don't really know how to say. They don't know how to deal with what's going on. Some things are happening where your husband needs us to just be quiet and intercede for him. So women, be quiet right now and just intercede. Keep a peaceful home, show love and walk in love. Even when you don't understand what's going on in his mind or how he's behaving, okay? This is for somebody. I don't know who, but you may not understand why your husband's behaving the way that he is right now. Maybe he got some information from the job he doesn't know how to disseminate to you. Maybe he's experiencing something in his body that he hasn't shared. No matter what it is, hush, because it's not about you. You may see a different attitude, you may see a different personality, but it's not about you. I promise it's not about you. Okay? So walk in love, and just be available to listen. All right? Wives, do that, okay? Walk in love. Make your home a place of love. Make your home a place of love. It's not easy. Fair warning. But is it a needful thing? Yes. And practice makes perfect. So what if you messed up today? Shake it off. Pick up right now and keep going. And if you mess up all the way until tonight, when you lay your head down on that pillow, make sure that you ask everybody to forgive you that you love and that you don't love. But if you offend them, you need to get it right. So I suggest not offending them so you don't have to go back. But get it right. And then tomorrow, get up and start again. Just start again. Because it's all about love. It really is. It's the only thing that can push away fear. Covers a multitude of sins. I want to thank each and every one of you being with us today. You know what we always say on any of the Felicia Lockhart group publications, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. I want you guys to continue to take care of yourselves first, because as you know, if you're not together, ain't nobody else around you going to be together. Right? Right, Daddy? Right, Mama? Nobody. So do that first. If you guys need me to intercede for anything for you specifically, if you need counseling, if you desire to book a session, please go to info@FeliciaLockhart.com. Okay. And that primarily is for women because I don't think I'm called to talk to dudes. All right. Okay. All right. So I want you guys to do that. And then also, if you're interested in finding out where I'll be, where I'm going to be speaking, please go to Felicia@FeliciaLockhart.com or FeliciaLockhart.com, which is the website. All right. You can have a good time checking stuff out there. How about that? Yep. Then I want you, most of all, and most important, something that is very free and very inexpensive to do, and that is to hit the like button. Hit the like button if you like it. And after you hit the like button, if you like it, could you please make sure that you are still subscribed? Because the numbers fluctuate and things are going on. So just make sure that you're able to get each and every one of the notifications when they come available. All right. And then share us out. Okay. I love each and every one of you guys. Y'all take care. Okay. How much time do we have right now? Who knows? Oh, wow. Betty R says, Felicia, you were from Carson. I was from Compton, making us strong from the beginning. Girlfriend, if you from Compton, you are my sister friend. I used to go there to the Carson Mall, and everybody from Compton used to come to the Carson Mall and have a good time. We used to have a good time. Yep. You grew up? Star Ali says she grew up in Carson and Compton. You grew up in Compton. Okay. All right. See, we got California in the house. But don't forget, you guys. Oh, for my broadcast, what time? So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, So we're not going to do the other one because I just gave you guys the stories, and I don't want to make you guys be like, "Oh gosh, she's back on again." So we're not, because I just gave you the end of the stories. I just gave you the last ones that I really wanted, the stories that you were going to look at today. We put them into this one because I didn't want to be redundant and have you guys coming back. All right. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you guys can join me on Blog Talk. As a matter of fact, there's some stuff up there right now. If you go to blogtalk.com and then go to my channel, you can click it and then you can hear yesterday's show. Because yesterday I was, I said, I talked about the taco. And when you get over there, you'll see what I'm talking about. Right now, how much time I need to talk to you about something, if I may. Go ahead. Are you talking about if you're booking a session, there are several different sessions. If you're booking a session, they are 30 minutes and then there are 1 hour sessions. If you're referring to that broadcasting, yeah. But on Blog Talk, yes, you can talk to me. You can email me at FeliciaLockhart.com directly, or you can go through info@FeliciaLockhart.com. Okay. And that way you're able to chit chat with me. Yeah. Yep. Yep. We can chat. Phone number is area code 470-232-1722. That's directly to the business, and that is open. I think the hours on that is 11 to 7, 10 or 11 to 7. Okay. And for those of you guys who have given, thank you so much. I want to thank Charlie Sigler, who sent an offering through a love offering to me through PayPal. Thank you so very much. There was another young lady who did one through Cash App the other day. I want to thank you for that. For everybody who gave here today, thank you so very much for that. I appreciate anything and everything you do for me. For Sandy Aaron, thank you so much. For all of you all. Okay. All right. All right, you guys. I will talk to everybody soon. We'll see each other really soon. Okay. All right. You guys take care of yourselves and take care of one another till we see each other again. Please continue to be blessed. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Helping you